What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I'm super excited to get with you guys today because it's hump day. And when it's hump day, it's the Sports Lounge Media. Super excited to get with you guys. We're going to talk about week 6, week 7, and our top 5 through week 6. But first, we got to give our sponsors a quick shout out. Go ahead,
Of,
Mark. Give
of
them.
course, we got Cali Built Graphics to take care of all of our shirts, hats, decal needs, and just so everyone knows, we are almost have that web store completely finished up, and it's going to be going active. Realistically, we're plan date is going to be November 1st. So with that being said, anytime you need any of your sports lounge media, all you got to do is go to www.sportsloungemedia.com, and it will take you to Cali Built, and they'll get everything taken care of there for you and get it shipped right to you. Then, of course, we also have Brian Martino Construction. Hit up Brian at brianmartinoconstruction.com and mention the Sports Lounge Media, and he will give you $1,000 off any project that is $10,000 and more. And of course, last but not least, when it comes to our sponsors, we have number one sports fan who takes care of all of our sports memorabilia and merchandise needs. If you need to get your shirts, hats, jerseys, anything you need, they do have the postseason hats, obviously for baseball, and they just released the salute to service hat. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a second. Just released the salute to service hats, and of course the biggest one we want to thank is the Mogul brand and Diamond Collection, where you go to poweredbytmb.com and get a hold of the Diamond Collection and put in this SLM or Sports Lounge Media, and you'll get 20% off your order. They have all your fulvic and all that good stuff for that water. And of course, here coming soon is going to be the gummies that will be released. And with that being said, they got you covered as well. There it is right there. So, again, each one of our partners and sponsors, we thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you guys for following us, creating this community, and also proudly thank you to all of our sponsors who have sponsored us thus so far. I'm excited for getting through week 6. We got a lot to talk about, but first, before I talk about that, it was an incredible weekend this last weekend as we shot a commercial, we shot a broadcast, we did a couple of reels, we did a bunch of great things into a high class studio that gave us great content. And special thank you to Arturo and his team and HCI Podcast Studios for hosting us and all that they do. Appreciate each and every one of them for what they get. Well, we got a lot of stuff that we are about to release. Great content. Look forward to that. Go visit us at www.sportsloungemedia.com to go check that out. And we will be releasing that soon. So excited about that. But let's get on to our first one. Let's talk about week 6 as I go through it. You guys choose a game that stuck out to you guys, and we'll go from there. Starting with Thursday night game, we had the Giants upset the Eagles 34-17. A little bit of a heartbreak there, but not surprised at all. But 34-17 with that game on Thursday. We had a London game going on. We had the Broncos winning 13-11. Multiple opportunities for the Jets to win. They just couldn't pull it off for some odd reason. Broncos been looking a little shaky. Defense is top 5, but their offense haven't been really producing as much, in my opinion. But they've been getting the job done. 13-11, they won there. Steelers have been impressive thus so far. They have won against the Browns at home, 23-9. We got the Chargers winning on the road, 29-27. I believe they won with the last-minute field goal. And they beat the Dolphins. We got Patriots still rolling, 25-19 against the Saints. We got the Rams, which is surprising. I thought that was going to be a blowout game. Was not a blowout game, but they ended up winning 17-3. I don't know what's going on with either of those teams, but we expected the Rams to blow out the Ravens. A lot of injuries, a lot of we're expecting Lamar Jackson to come back after the bye week and see if they can actually compete and get into the playoffs. But they lost that game 17-3 to the Rams. Then we go on to the Cardinals. Danny Dimes is rolling still. They win that game Again, 31-27 against the Arizona Cardinals. We got the Seahawks stunning the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been a sleeper team through 6 weeks, but they lost to the Seahawks 20-12. We got the Panthers stunning the Cowboys, or really maybe it's not a stun. We don't know what's going on with the Cowboys over there. But the Panthers win 30-27. We got Raiders losing to the Titans, and we were here for that game, which was
Raiders
exciting.
beat the Titans.
Raiders beat the Titans, yeah, 20-10. We were here for that game, so super excited to see that happen. The Buccaneers beat up a decimated 49er team, and they just lost Fred Warner for the season. Kind of excited to see what they do with that defense in the next couple of weeks. They do play next week against ATL, which is going to be tough, but let's see if they can adjust. But the Bucks pulled that one off 30-19 against the 49ers. We got the Bengals losing to the Packers 27-18. That was an easy call for that game. Kind of stunner games here. A lot of people had the Lions. I did not. But the Chiefs won 30-17 against the Lions. Was expected for me. I called that game 100 times, and I'll call it again. But then we move on to the Monday night doubleheader. Again, called the Falcons to beat the Bills 24-14. And the Bears stunned the Commanders. Commies, where you at? 25-24. What game stood out to you guys? Let's talk about it right now.
For me, it was the Chargers and the Dolphins. On that one, like you said, it was a game-winning field goal by Dicker the kicker, and 33-yarder with 5 seconds left. Tua actually ended up leading them back in the fourth quarter with 2 touchdowns. But for me, it wasn't the fact is he had a game-winning field goal. It's what happened after the game is what mattered. There was a lot of stuff that has happened across the NFL after the game. We saw the Chiefs and the Lions, but I'm going to stick to this one, and that is actually Tua publicly criticized his teammates for not showing up to team player only meetings, showing up late. And so he actually publicly criticized, and actually about 4.5 hours ago, he released a public apology stating that I made a mistake and I'm owning up to that right now. And he goes, while they know my intent was right, the intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, it leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team now. In addition to adding to the outside noise, Tua also acknowledged that he didn't protect the locker room by airing out the team's business publicly. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game. He said that's something that can learn from as a leader on this team. What happens in house should be protected, and none of that should have gotten out. And so, I want to publicly apologize for that, and want to move forward and focus on the Browns. Now, my question is, and I'm just going to leave this short: does that affect his leader? Obviously, the leadership now. We've seen um, Tyreek Hill out. We've seen the public criticism like he wasn't playing the best. They're 1-5. Are we seeing a dismay, and are we going to see Mike McDaniel gone before the end of the year because of what's going on? Obviously, inside the locker room, off the field, things like that. So, I want to know your guys' thought on that real quick.
I think Tua has been apologizing, or it seems like he's been kind of talking out of place a lot lately in a lot of these press conferences. So I'm not too sure really what's going on with him as far as his leadership, but he kind of looked lost in this last press conference when they asked him about his class and how they drafted and where they are at now, and he just kind of went off the deep end and started talking about them having girlfriends with supermodels and having kids and stuff. So everybody was just a little confused by his words. So I think he's just like really talking out of place. Tua might need to get evaluated.
CTE's coming back.
Yeah, I think that he should have did that privately, calling them out. I don't think you should ever do anything like that publicly. But it is what it is. Apologize for it. Let's move on. Does it create some distance with the players? Yeah. I mean, when you do stuff in public, right? When you out people, people don't feel comfortable with that. It doesn't. People don't react. And there's not a lot of people that can take accountability. There's not a lot of people who can take criticism and any of that. So when you have competitive spirits, also putting in the work, it's going to come off very wrong. So I think at the end of the day, um, unless you have individuals that are intellectually intelligent and can take criticism, you're going to get that's I mean, their season is probably almost over at this point. Mike McDaniels, I'm hoping he gets fired for selfish reasons. I would love an OC like Mike McDaniel on my team. But again, we don't know what's going to happen. We have three individuals that we're looking at right now, and he could be possibly one of them. And so for selfish reasons, I hope he does.
Dang. But no, that's what stood out to me is because the off field. So that game actually was a very interesting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised though that you didn't pick the Lions and the Chiefs, as you was really adamant about the Lions smashing the Chiefs. So, but I'm glad that you took that game.
Hey, I was impressed with the fact being that Brian Branch, they upheld his suspension also today, which was announced, which is something big for them. Losing one of their star defensive backs, it's going to affect them. But yeah, this is all stuff that's Sarai can talk about on Tea with Sarai because it's huge news. But I mean, is it going to affect the Lions? You know, I'm going to stick with the Lions. I felt they should have won. I saw some plays that were controversial. Once again, the guy's 2.5 yard. Kelsey was 2.5 yards ahead on a play, and he's like, "What the heck? Like, I didn't get the flag." And then all of a sudden, the ref throws a flag. It's like, dude, he was literally 2 steps behind him, and you just threw a like. No, this is absurd. So, officiating crews, they seriously need to start giving them grades, and if they suck, get rid of them.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it'll walk me right into my pick. Is the Bills and the Falcons. Um, when we're talking about plays, when we're talking about certain things, number one, you can blame the refs so much, right? You need to score touchdowns at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. Same thing that happened with the Patriots. Same thing happens with the Chiefs, Lions, Eagles. Score touchdowns. You win. You'll win that football game. I'm gonna walk into this game a little bit different. I want to talk about not the fact that the Falcons beat the Bills, but there's been a double standard going on in the league when it comes to Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts officially threw his first interception in this last game after over 300 plus snaps, and he's
305.
scrutinized for that and criticized for that. But yet Josh Allen threw multiple interceptions throughout this season, but it hasn't been talked about at all. Actually, they lifted him up as a hero for his team. The other thing that if my memory serves me correct, they had a prime Stephon Diggs, and he had players around him to be successful to get to the Super Bowl. But when it came to when the time matters to beat Patrick Mahomes, he couldn't beat him. But guess who did beat him multiple times and outplayed him? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts outplayed him multiple times, 3 times to be exact, 2 times in the Super Bowl, and 1 time just recently. So when we're talking about two different individuals, there's a double standard that is happening, and I wanted to shine light on that because why do we give one praise, but yet Jalen Hurts is always dragged through the mud? So, am I surprised that the Falcons won? No. I believe that defense, that Bills defense, is now worrisome, as you can see. Two games, and here's another one. They also lost 2 games in a row. The Eagles lost 2 games in a row. But guess who everybody has above us? The Bills. That's okay. I'll take it because at the end of the day, it's about winning Super Bowls. But I will say that there is a double standard happening in the NFL. There will never be no love to Jalen Hurts, and I have accepted it last year. And but I for me on this platform, I would love to shine light on that right there.
Real quick, you said that he's outplayed. You said Hurts has outplayed Patty Mahomes. Like I'm not a fan of Kermit the Frog. You know what I mean? I'm not. But when didn't they play in week 2 this year?
Correct, and they won.
They won. What was the score?
Look it up. You're the statistician.
20-17.
Correct.
What was Jalen Hurts' stats?
Pull them
He
up.
had he had 101 yards passing.
Correct.
So how did he outplay him? He only had. I mean, that game was horrible across both sides. Like I'm not trying to say Patty Mahomes outplayed. To me, it's like they both. That was a defensive game. Is what that was. That was a great defensive game. Is what I recall from that. I don't feel.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, watch the game.
Okay, strategically, so you know that Jalen Hurts beat him.
I'm not saying he didn't beat him.
Yeah.
The quarterback always gets credit for the win, but he didn't outplay him.
Okay, that's fine. That's what everybody else is saying, but that's cool.
No, I'm saying that was a defensive game. To me, it's like you had a guy who had 101 yards passing versus a guy who had 187 yards passing. I mean, Jalen.
Okay, so what's the point against the double standard against Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts? I want to know that point because he couldn't beat Patty Mahomes. We did, and we beat him in the biggest stage, and he outplayed him in the Super Bowl. Belt to ass the first time, and he outplayed him the first time we played him in the Super Bowl, he outplayed him. The second time it was belt to ass, and then this last time he beat him in Arrowhead, and you know how difficult that is to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and everybody's gonna say, oh, the Chiefs are gonna go back to the Super Bowl, they're gonna be in the playoffs, they're gonna win division, but yet Jalen Hurts has beaten him 3 times. He's also beat Josh Allen.
And I don't understand why it's such a big deal for passing yards. Like that's the only thing people look at. Like that's crazy to me.
I'm not just looking. You have to look at styles of quarterbacks. That's the thing that I've always said. Josh Allen is a different style of quarterback. You can't compare an apple to an orange. You can't compare Jalen Hurts to a Josh Allen because when you look at their statistically, Jalen Hurts is going to have more rushing yards, 100%. When it comes to the Super Bowl that you're talking about, which it was a BTA, 100%. But when you look at the statistics, Jalen had a better completion, but Jalen did have substantially, obviously, a lot more yards rushing. But when you look at the total yards, the touchdowns, it was Mahomes. So when you look at a quarterback, you have to look at what a quarterback is supposed to do.
In the Super Bowl, Mahomes what? He had better stats in garbage time?
He had 257 with 3 touchdowns.
In the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl.
In the garbage time when everybody was out, right?
When did
he didn't score a touchdown? They didn't score a touchdown until after the third quarter when we had our second and third strings in. I mean, okay, I'll give it to him. Okay,
but I mean,
go ahead. I mean,
what I'm trying to say is you're trying to. I mean, you can't. That's the problem with everyone across.
Did Josh Allen beat Mahomes?
Josh Allen's beaten Mahomes
in the AFC when it matters the most. No, he's never beat him. That's what we're talking about here.
But it's a team sport. It's not one player versus one player.
Okay, team sport. Let's go back
Josh
to that.
Allen does not have the team.
He did. He had a team. He had the
prime. Who do you have? Who do you have?
Stephon Diggs. He has Cook. What are we? Are we serious
when
right
he
now?
had Diggs, who did he have as running back?
Who do you have? Mark. Who do you have as running back?
He had a rookie with James Cook who wasn't even starting. Okay, so you have a team that is superior across the board. The Bills,
and he had a better defense around that time as well. That kept them in games. The Bills did.
Have you watched the Bills defense?
When he played in the past, when he beat Mahomes, you're talking about when he beat him. And surrounding talent, and you're talking about when he was.
I can name one player from that Bills defense.
When he beat Patty Mahomes?
Yes, Von Miller.
How are we forgetting Milano? How are we forgetting their D line, their secondary? They had players.
I forgot about Milano. But they were not stacked compared. That's the catch. You have to look at when you look at a balanced game, when you're comparing apples and apples, you can say yes. Now, if I have to choose a quarterback, it depends on what type of system. I've always said this every single show, no matter who I talk to, it's a matter of the system that they are on. Jalen Hurts is not a passing quarterback. He is a mobile quarterback. He wants to move out. He has struggled with the offense that they have ran with whatever KP, what Paulino,
Patulo.
Patulo. I mean, his offensive calling has been putrid, is what it has been. Um, but which I understand why everyone wants to get rid of him and get a new OC. I mean, I agree with that. But you've got a quarterback. You have to play into the styles of systems. Jalen Hurts is not a guy who can sit in the pocket. He needs to be mobile. So he's trying to create himself into something he's not. Josh Allen is a pocket quarterback, but he is able to get out. So you have a mobile quarterback who's trying to stay in versus a pocket quarterback who has no problem going out. So you have two different styles of offense. To me, you can't compare Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. I personally would not compare, and I don't compare because I see two different things. I think the Bills have not had a defense that
So
has
you
been
so you're saying
comparable to what the Eagles have had, and he also not and Josh Allen has also had not had the amount of offensive weapons. The Eagles have always had a better spread when it comes to receivers, tight end. I mean, who have the Bills had at tight end?
who's
Who have the Bills?
Kincaid?
Huh?
Who's Kincaid?
Exactly. Who's Kincaid?
Like what?
Mediocre tight end. He is going to be your average tight end. There is nothing special about him. I will take Dallas Goedert at the age he is now over Dalton Kincaid in his prime because I think Dallas Goedert is a lot better because he understands the systems.
No,
Josh
we're talking.
Allen,
Okay, okay,
so you
that's
have
fair,
those
but
different
we're
things.
talking about again. We're talking about he doesn't have that's talent, bro.
Yeah.
Kincaid is talent. Again, it's not their fault if they're not throwing him the ball. It's not. He's a decent, good enough tight end. I mean, there's been people on. I mean, Marshall, if you're in here, correct me if I'm wrong. People have them picking that tight end. What, number 4 or 5? Best
because
tight end in
tight
the
ends
league.
because tight ends are no longer relevant in the league. They're not used as often. Your George Kittles, your Travis Kelsey's. I mean, think about it. You got Kittle,
T.J. Hawkinson
Kelsey.
and Kincaid is in that conversation.
TJ
Trade.
Hawkinson is not even no longer relevant as a tight end. He's no longer used in Minnesota. He's been switched to a blocking type tight end. You know, you have realistically your top four is is Dalton Kincaid in the top four? Yeah, because he's the best option that's out there. But you got Trey McBride, you got Brock Bowers, and look at Brock Bowers. He can't stay off of being off the injury list right now.
Yeah.
He's constantly hurt. Why? Because he's overused.
So what's the argument on the so
So,
what do you
but as for the
so what do you
Josh Allen thing,
what do you
as for
think
the
about the double standard?
the
That's
double
the
standard, no,
topic.
I think that's the problem with that media has. You have to compare apples to apples. You cannot sit there and say this person is better than this person. Now, I don't agree with it. Do I think Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts? It depends on what system you're running. Do I think that we're seeing obviously certain players getting favoritisms over all the time? Yes, that is the problem with the NFL right now. We're watching guys that have always been
Okay.
winners, guys, and they're complaining and they get what they want, but then when it's actually should be warranted, it's not happening. I would take Jalen Hurts as a quarterback if I'm running the system that they were running last year. Why? He was great in it. He's a great quarterback. He has the opportunity to be even better. But don't change. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's the oldest saying in the book. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're averaging 35 freaking points a game like they did last year, I want to say they were like 32. Why are you trying to change your offense? You might lose your coordinator, but guess what? That's where the GM and the head coach should have came in and said, "Look, this is your playbook. I got ideas. You will sprinkle your ideas in. This worked for us. We're going to stick to this. We might do some tweaking, but what you're seeing now, it's like they're trying to create Jalen Hurts into something that he is not. And I wish they would stop doing that because I see I agree with you. At the beginning of the year, you said they give Jalen Hurts the chance to do what he knows how to do and play the way he knows how to play, he should be MVP. I agree with you 100%, brother. 100%. But they're trying to change something that doesn't need to be changed. So the double standards, though, people need to get that mindset out. It's like, oh, well, this person's better than this person. No, I mean, we have the same conversation in basketball, baseball, every sport's that way. But when you look at it, you have to compare apples to apples. Now, if I want to compare a Josh Allen to a Patty Mahomes, that's more of a closer comparison. I
Yeah,
would say yes.
the double standard wasn't a comparison. It was you talk about one that has a double loss. They both got double losses, and you talk about one higher. They praise one and not the other.
But you have, when you do that, you also have to look at, besides for Keon Coleman, who else do the Bills have this year? That's why when they talk about the MVP status, you take the MVP, you take Josh Allen off of that Bills team.
Yeah, but now we're talking about hypotheticals and what
No,
ifs,
no, no,
and
no. But
hold on,
no,
hold on, hold on, hold on.
that's
And
what an
we're talking
MVP
about
is.
at that particular point. We're talking about Jalen Hurts is on the Eagles. Josh Allen is on the Bills. There's no what ifs. There's none. I mean, if we're gonna do what ifs, I mean, if my uncle was a girl, that would be my aunt.
And again, I'm not sitting there,
Like, come on, like
but
you can't
again,
scrutinize again. You cannot
I'm not
scrutinize one.
scrutinizing. What I'm saying is you cannot sit there and put a comparison and saying, yes, this person's doing this. If you take Josh Allen off that Buffalo Bills team, man, they're over. I don't care who they have. Josh Allen shows that he is the MVP. That is the point to the MVP. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley should have been right there in MVP talk.
Mhm.
He
So
was,
would you agree or disagree? If you're an MVP of this season, you should be in the Super Bowl.
if no,
Oh, so anybody could just win it and then not. I mean,
I've
that's
I've seen players not even make the playoffs and win the and get MVP. Why? Because it's your most
not
valuable
what we
player.
seen. Not what we seen. I'm just saying should.
No, I think the problem is we do see favoritisms when it comes to understanding the game. That these writers are ridiculous. Like, oh, well, I'm going to give it to this person because why? This is what they're known for. No, I think that's the problem. MVP is the most valuable player. If you take that person off the team, is that team going to be good? We can sit there and have the conversation in a baseball concept. One of the big things they were talking about, Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh. Well, guess what? Cal Raleigh wasn't even the best player, statistically on his team. Yeah, he hit home runs. Judge led every category. We're seeing, so that's where MVP is like, do they get removed? Can they still perform? Are they still going to have that same exact team? With Jalen Hurt, with Josh Allen, sorry, you take him off that Bills. No, that Bills is not going to be the same team. Jalen Hurts, no, I don't think they're going to be the same team. But I think there are more weapons, more opportunities because of the other guys that they have. I'm not saying that, hey, he should get favored. Like I said, if I had to start a team, it depends on what my offense system is. And that's where I think the problem with media is they're scrutinizing and they're publicly praising, like you said, one person, but they're giving people. We had this conversation about the Shador Sanders and the Jackson Dart thing. Well, to me, Shador Sanders has no reason to be talking. He's not on the field. Do they consider it swag or do they consider he needs to be humbled? No, it's a last name thing. So that's why they're trying to get clout. They're trying to get, as you like to call it, clickbait. They want to sit there and get views. They want to do what they got to do. So who are you going to do? You're going to interview the most popular person that you can possibly think of on the Cleveland Browns. And yes, it just so happens to be Shador Sanders. So that's the catch. You're going to see those things. And at the end of the day, it's about the media trying to create whatever they can do to get people to watch the freaking show.
Mhm.
That's what they care about. And that's why when people bring that to us and when they ask me, no, what system are they running? What are they doing? What can we see? I can look at everything. You can always do, okay, I can take this, I can do this. Well, this person's better here. This person's better here. So that's what I do. That's where I enjoy. It's like, hey, these things. Now, the scrutiny that they're doing with Jalen Hurts, I don't agree with it. They lost 2 games in a row. But when I look at the strength of schedule with the teams that they beat, yeah, they weren't the prettiest wins. I wasn't happy. I felt that they should have had a couple games that they played a lot better. But I understand also they have a new coordinator. I understand also they've had injuries. When you lose, what was it, Jordan Davis? No, Jalen Carter. You lose your one of your star defensive nose tackles. It's going to affect your game. You have to address it. The biggest thing that they haven't addressed in Philadelphia has been the secondary, and it has shown. I'm right there with you. I want to see C.J. Gardner Johnson back there. I want to see somebody back there. I love watching Cooper DeJean. The way he plays, flying all over the place. But he's got to have the help. He can't cover the entire field. So I am in agreement with you. They should stop scrutinizing one person and giving praise to another, because at the end of the day, it is a team sport. 52 men on that team. Every person takes the loss. I don't care what the record shows.
Mm-hmm.
The person that always gets blamed is who? The head coach. You're not going to see that. A team could go 1-15. You're not going to see the quarterback get fired, but you're going to see going to see the head coach. But yet they don't scrutinize him. Why aren't they scrutinizing Sirianni for the 2 losses? They aren't. They just try to find.
They are.
But they try to find somebody to blame, because so this way they can get people to watch their shows. It's like, no, present the facts, the real facts. What have they fallen short on? I think the big issue that the Eagles have had was an off the field thing with AJ Brown, with what he did. All of a sudden, hey, you need to give me passes. He did that last year, and all of a sudden he started performing again. They started giving him the passes. You started seeing the stats go up. But they're trying to figure out that system. The problem at the end of the day, and I think every person that's sitting here on this show, and pretty much every Eagles fan that is out there in the world, will say your problem is one thing only: the offensive coordinator. That offense is not clicking. Why? Because they're trying to change something that you should not change. If it is not broke, do not, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's my insight on that one.
Really didn't answer my question, but it's okay, man. We'll talk about it another time. We got to move on though. There's more to it than Kevin Petula. We got to get our offensive line healthy again. Obviously our defensive line healthy again. We do have a CB2 problem, but this is not a Philly show, so we're gonna continue to roll. Sarai, what was your pick of the week?
So my pick of the week was the Commanders and the Bears.
Oh, really?
So a couple things that I kind of jotted down that I notated. DeAndre Swift had a great game. I think he helped.
He did.
He helped that team pull out that win. He did amazing. It was good to see him back. Kind of putting in those numbers. He carried the ball several times for crucial yards to help him move the chain. The other thing was, one thing that I think was maybe the turnover for that game specifically was the Jaden Daniels and the Krosky Merritt when he kind of handed it off and it was botched. And then that was kind of the fumble that the Bears recovered. So I think that was kind of the turning point for that game. It's also cool to see, the walk-off 38-yard field goal by Jake Moody as the time expired, which brought, the win. So I thought that was a pretty interesting game. I mean, JD5 came back.
Bruh, stop clapping. It's in my ear. Jesus Christ.
I'm a little excited. But we had I think it was definitely a good game to watch. I was surprised that the Bears kind of pulled that win because everybody was saying the Commanders were going to win, and Bears came in for a disappointment. So happy for my
I think one of the things for that game is keeping them in the game. Like, why would you keep the Bears in the game? You know what I mean? So they did everything they could to keep them in the game, basically, and they took advantage of that and won that game.
Yeah. So I think, and then there was a lot
and guess who did it? Jake Moody, Booty Moody, freaking kicked the field goal and won the game. Crazy to think about.
I was just kind of happy, that for the Commanders' loss, because it kind of definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Maybe that's why I'm clapping, because
Yeah. Any insight on that game, Art?
To me, the fact that Moody was able to kick that field goal, I was expecting that to miss, just like pretty much every other Niner fan, to be honest.
He redeemed himself, maybe.
Huh?
I said he might have redeemed himself a little, maybe.
He had a miss and a block, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
He
he won the game, but They could have beat them. They actually, I mean, that's 6 points taken off the board. I mean, they could have really. Anyway, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. To me, with that one, I just don't think that I'm still, you know, Caleb had 252, but he's just again, he had the one good game. He didn't get sacked. All of a sudden, he got sacked 3 times again, forgetting what he has to do: get rid of the damn ball.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
There
that's
was
what
a
it
lot
comes
of
down to.
then there
Yeah.
was several fumbles. TJ Edwards. I mean, kind of some familiar names
Mess.
to us.
It's going to get messier. Weather is definitely going to be a factor going into these next couple of months. So if you're going to get your wins and your losses, this is the time to do it because it is going to get even more messier. But
Yeah.
let's check out. Let's see what else is popping over here. Down South Philly Show says smash the like button. We got Joseph in the house.
Hi, Bestie.
Oh, that is Bestie. Okay. Hello everyone. Well, hello, Bestie. I guess. We got Kim Pat Talk in the house. Everything that you got to know about the Patriots, and he's super excited about Drake May and wants to have Drake May in the MVP conversation, but we're not there yet, brother. But what's up? So we have so far. Let's move into our next segment. We're looking into week 7, guys. Let's start off with our Thursday game. And then I'm going to ask you guys after I get through these games, which one are you most excited to watch? And we'll start with Thursday's game. We're calling it the Icy Hot Bowl. Yeah, the Icy Hot Bowl. We got Joe Flacco going up against Aaron Rodgers. So we got Steelers and Bengals on Thursday in the Icy Hot Bowl. Then we have the Rams visiting the Jaguars. Really not visiting because it's a London game, but
Get rid of the freaking international games.
Jaguars are playing in that game. Interesting game to watch there. We got a big rivalry game with the Raiders visiting the Chiefs in Arrowhead. We also got the Dolphins playing the Browns. We got the Patriots in Tennessee against the Titans. Panthers versus the Jets. Let's see if they win their first game in that game. You know what I mean? That could be a game that they can finally get their first win. We don't know. But with the Saints, they got to go to Chicago to play the Bears. Again, the Eagles go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. This is an interesting game here in LA. We got the Colts versus the Chargers. We also got, let's see if Dart can get it done again against the Broncos in Denver. That will be an interesting game there. We got the Packers versus the Cardinals. We'll scrape by that one. We got a rivalry game again. We got Commanders in Dallas playing in Dallas. We got the Falcons going to go play a decimated 49ers team in Levi Stadium. Interesting doubleheader. Very interesting doubleheader. We got the Buccaneers versus the Lions.
Go
and
Bucs.
then we also got absolutely. And then we also got the Titans versus the Seahawks. Let's chime into our chat box real quick before we get your guys' favorite. We got Steelers. They said Little Rudy says Steelers will beat the Bengals in the Icy Hot Bowl. And they also say, Little Rudy also says, I believe the Saints will defeat the Bears. That's an interesting take. But what is the most exciting game? Let's start with Sarai. What's the most exciting game for you to watch this week? Week 7.
Yeah, so the two that I'm excited
I don't know
to
why I
watch.
said it like that. Week 7. But go ahead.
It must be the deprived of sleep.
Probably.
So the two games that I'm excited to watch are going to be the Commanders and the Cowboys, right? So who do we cheer for to see, the levels of our division? The other one is,
I would love to see probably the Commanders to lose because the Commanders are 3-3.
Right. That's going to be a good game, right? Dak's been kind of performing. JD5 came back, didn't look so good in this last game. We'll have to see. Yeah. The other one is the Lions and the Bucks. Go Bucks.
Yeah.
I want the Lions to be exposed, and I want the Bucks to keep their push.
They've already been exposed. They have 2 losses.
According to everybody, they haven't been exposed. They're just the hottest team out
We need the Bucks. We actually need the Bucks to lose this game so that we can fight for that 1 seed, actually. But, I mean, we got a long season to go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Lions lose again, though.
because that's
Yeah.
everybody's top team. So.
Yeah, everybody thinks the Lions are going to run away with the Super Bowl. But anyway, Mark, who do you got? Who's a team that you're looking forward to watching? Did
Did
he
we just
freeze?
have a hat change? I'm confused.
Oh, okay. Is that why you put on the team
Yeah,
that just lost in the?
I got Detroit in the Bucks. That's who I got.
Oh, okay. I
No,
wouldn't
they
have. I wouldn't have switched to that hat. I mean,
I was confused. I'm like, what is
yeah, I
going
would.
on tonight?
everyone knows. Everyone knows you don't wear a Lions hat. You always wear the Detroit Tigers hat. That's what everyone in Detroit does.
Oh, they're both losing though. Okay. Well, anyway.
Oh, whatever, dude.
Anyways, carry on. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a highlight game for sure. I'm gonna try to pick one different. Let's go with the Colts and the Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Colts and the Chargers. I think that the Chargers will pull this one off. But we've been waiting for Danny Dimes to see if he goes back to Danny Dimes because they're calling him Indiana Jones now. So let's see what happens in that game. They're going to be visiting the Chargers in LA and Harbor and that crew. Let's see if they can get it done. That's the game probably excited to watch outside of the games that you guys have already mentioned. Um,
How come we're not talking?
another
Real
game would
quick.
be the Jaguars and the Rams.
The Jags
Uh,
have actually surprisingly
yeah.
been doing pretty
If the
good.
Rams lose this game, what are we saying about the Rams? You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be an interesting game. And then the icy hot bowl. Um, yeah, nobody's talking about the Steelers right now, so that's going to be an interesting game. Those are the most interesting games, I guess, in Week 7. That I would say is all the games you said and the couple of games that I mentioned.
Mhm.
Oh, I could probably mention the Giants and the Broncos, right? If the Giants beat the Broncos, are the Giants for real now? Like, are they going to compete?
Is Scatterbo the hottest thing now for
I
running
mean,
backs?
I think he already has CTE as many times as he banged his head in Arizona, and he's banging
I
his head
still
over
can't
here.
believe those videos y'all showed me this weekend of him banging his head for in college.
It's crazy.
Wild.
Anyway,
I want to know this. How come we're not talking about Daniel Jones in the MVP talk? Why is his name not being brought in?
it's
I
simply
mean,
because he walks
He's 1 year.
into he walks into the Colts. People are really not believers into the Colts. Not believers really in Danny Jones. I mean, considering the fact where he came from and how he performed, will he be in MVP conversations? I think we have to give him some time in the season. Probably when we get past maybe week 8, week 9, they'll bring him up. But right now, that's probably some of the reasons why he's not brought up.
he's been only sacked 5 times. He has one of the highest QBRs in the on the season. Oh wait, no, that's right. He has the highest QBR currently out of all NFL quarterbacks. He's in the
It's
top 8. Just like you have to give the guy credit where credit is due. He did not have the offensive line with the Giants, and I think that you're seeing a balanced offense with Jonathan Taylor being there. Him being healthy himself. He's leading the league in rushing. So
yeah.
you're
I mean,
seeing a
it's the same.
balanced act.
Yeah, it's the same conversation that you would have with Sam Darnold last year, right? Like he was. I mean, they went 14-3, I believe, and he wasn't in the MVP conversation either, and he played extremely well last year, and but lost in the first round.
I think they need to start announcing MVPs before playoffs. Playoffs
Yeah,
shouldn't matter.
yeah.
It should be for the season, not if you make the playoffs.
Yeah. So real quick, little Rudy, we'll jump that back up. Little Rudy says Commanders will have a bounce back game after a loss against the Bears, but going against the Cowboys is even though the Cowboys after they lost, they took against the Panthers. Crazy enough, I'm not a believer in the Commanders. They're one player away from being a senior citizen home. Number two, I would say that the Commanders haven't really performed that well last year either. They lost to Cooper Rush when they played the Cowboys. So I think they put it on them in this game. When is CD Lamb is out for the season or when does he come back?
He comes back this week.
He comes back this week, guys. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole different team. So I got the Cowboys. Got the Cowboys in that game. I'm hoping for the Cowboys to win. We need Commanders to lose. Come on now.
It's just a
Anyways,
word
yeah.
in my book.
All right, let's move on.
You
Let's
just need
move
a
on.
tie.
Did everybody pick their games? All right, perfect. Let's move on. We're gonna go to power rankings, starting with Mark, because he always has the most interesting power rankings.
I got Colts, Bucks, Eagles, Lions, Packers in that order, 1 through 5.
Okay, say it again for the people in the back.
All right, so at 5, I've got the Packers. At 4, I got Detroit. Eagles, I got at 3.
Mm,
Bucks, I got at 2. Colts, I got at 1.
okay. Any honorable mentions?
49ers still, they might be squeaking into the top 10. Nope, never
No.
mind. They lost this week.
Okay.
Where's
Sarai.
John at? Where's John at?
Sarai.
So my power rankings for this week, I have the 5 Steelers, 4 Eagles, 3 Chargers, 2 Bucks, 1 Colts.
Okay. Care to elaborate, or that's just what it is?
The Chargers, real quick, I'm curious. The Chargers, why the Chargers?
Because they've had, so I was taking notes earlier today. I was going through my statistics and thinking about schedules and things like that. So the Chargers are 4-2. They have a good win-loss and a competitive record in a tough division. Their division is very tough. Their schedule has been middling to challenging in spots, and I think they're often undervalued, but they're delivering. Hey, 4-2. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby.
Sounded like Chat GPT, but okay.
Are you underestimating my knowledge? These are the notes I wrote. And actually, I have even a table of my teams. Thank you very much.
You have an honorable mention?
What did I put? Did I say the Steelers? I think I put the Steelers.
You had the Steelers at 5.
Oh, mine the Lions. Mine the Lions.
Okay. Okay.
You know, because I mean, yeah, like at the beginning of the season, I was kind of like, 2 new coordinators. I don't think they're going to be that good. And then they also are delivering. Do they have me convinced? No, but they're in everybody's top, so let's just throw them up there.
They haven't played nobody yet, but okay. So and when they did, they lost. But okay, so number 5, I'm doing this for John. John has been on my you know what. So I'm gonna give 49ers some love today, but I won't next week. So I'm gonna put them at 5. I got Philly at number 4. I got the Colts at number 3. I got the Steelers at number 2. I got the Bucks at number 1. And I hate to say it, my honorable mention, because I mean I will not say this probably the rest of the season, but is KC, the Chiefs. I think that when they get Rashid Rice, he's going to be back. They're going to start figuring some things out, and once again, we're going to have trollers coming back that they're going to win the Super Bowl again.
Real quick, why the Bucks at 1?
Yeah, so good question. Bucks at 1, simply because number 1, their record has shown they played. Yep, they have played really, really well. They haven't had Mike Evans, and honestly, I think when we're talking about MVP conversation, we have to put Baker in that conversation. He's been playing lights out, and yeah.
And they also win in clutch situations. Like that's the biggest thing.
They're 3-0 in away games. They're 1-0 in division. They're 2-1 at home. 3-1 in conference. That says a lot about that team. And they're 5-1. The only team that they lost to was us in a close game. So, yeah.
I mean, they barely, but it's the same. I mean, I had them at 2. I mean, this last game it showed okay, Baker's stepping it up. But I was even stretching it too. The only reason I put them at 2 was because they had the.
Who do you have?
The Eagles.
Who do you have at 1?
Mine.
Colts. Okay, so I think that the Bucks will beat the Colts.
I think the thing
rather at home or away, it wouldn't matter.
On my notes, I put that the reason why the Bucks are 2 and mine too is because of the strength of their scheduling. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it's average or slightly easier. compared to the other teams.
And the reason why I have Steelers at number two is I don't think Mike Tomlin has seen a person like Ben Roethlisberger and know how to run a team. And they got Aaron Rodgers, and that's the closest thing that they have to a pocket passer with that kind of knowledge and knowing that scheme. So when Mark, you're talking about systematic quarterbacks, putting him into the Steelers was probably the best thing. This is a team that makes playoffs, 18 straight so far, and probably going to end up winning that division. And Aaron Rodgers is going to have an opportunity to, have some noise there. So that's why I got them there. Colts, you said why the Colts should be in the top five. The Eagles, I could probably say that there's other teams in there like the Chargers or Green Bay Packers that could take that position at four. But I got them in there because they also have two losses. I mean, we have two elite quarterbacks. I mean, I would like to see what would happen if Tanner McKee was to take over, to be honest, and see. I mean, if Kevin Patula wants a pocket passer, maybe they can interchange the two. I'm not opposed to that. I just want to win football games at this point.
The Colts also, I think they've shown a lot of consistency. I think that's why I have them as my number one um, for it. And I think like their strength of scheduling is like among the absolute one of the hardest. And I think that their wins are just a little bit cleaner. That the way Mark likes to statistically rate.
Well, I mean, they had that beating of Miami, which that's not saying much. They had the beating of Tennessee, which I mean, the big win against Denver that they had was actually pretty impressive. For that one, and that one actually it was they were down, and so for them coming back to kick three field goals, one in the third, and then two in the fourth to beat them. So that was impressive. The defense showed up on that. But when you look at the Eagles or the Colts, I mean, they have, they got the one loss against the Rams, which the Rams came back in that one, but they're beating people. To me, they struggled with the Cardinals. This like when they had to come back. The Cardinals are not as good as everyone think, of what they should have played. So, I mean, that's where it's like, but again, they're beating the teams that they have to beat and that they're supposed to beat. That's where it's like, okay, I can balance that out.
Yeah.
That's my important
Awesome.
things.
Awesome. All right. This is that segment in the show where we talk about hearts and hooves. Nah, hearts and howls and hearts and meows.
You're fired.
Uh, so whoa, that's a crazy score. Okay. So anyway, continuing this, I mean, let's talk about, I guess this is the picture that we have, but go ahead and
Oh, Sadie. Yeah, let's talk about Sadie. So, Sadie is a Rottweiler. We are actually featuring her again because she is needing surgery. She has two broken legs, and so we are reaching out to everybody. We're featuring her. If you'd like to make a donation, you can always go to heartsandhousrescue.org. Hearts and House Rescue is a 501c3 animal rescue nonprofit organization based in Texas, in the DFW area. It is powered by the passion and dedication of incredible volunteers that we have. We take a lot of dogs and cats that have been abandoned or left in the streets. We get them vetted, we get them spayed and neutered, we get them fostered or adopted out into loving families. So yeah, if you are ever interested in finding your new best friend, visit the website heartsandhouserescue.org, and there you will see all our adoptable dogs and kitties. And you can also make donations there. It is tax deductible, and also they have Amazon lists. So all of our pets there have some favorite things on Amazon if you'd like to purchase them. So yeah, so check out the website. You can scan the QR code that's over here on my side if you're interested.
awesome. Thank you for that. And remember to visit us at www.sportsloungemedia.com. And click that QR code right there. There's a lot of amazing things that are happening. We're coding some stuff so you're able to see games lives. We're able to add some subscriptions up there if you want to talk to a fantasy guru or a bet specialist, things like that. There's so many things that we're combining and evolving uh as a media group that is just next level. We do have another phase of this that we'll talk about later about recruiting and things like that. But yeah, you're gonna start seeing a lot of great content. We did some stuff. Those who are here live and maybe missed it earlier, or if you're watching on the replay, you're gonna hear it again. But we gathered together as a group. Very excited to meet everybody in Vegas, and we did a HCI studio podcast, very professional interview with Jesus Lopez, who is the play-by-play sports commentator there for the Golden Knights. He also does the Raiders. He also does basketball, football, baseball. He pretty much does it all here in Vegas. So it was very exciting to get with him and be able to be interviewed by him. You guys are going to be able to see that content within the week or next week. So excited about that. But to be able to see most of that content, you have to click that QR code and visit us at www.sportsloungemedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends and family, those who love all sports. We're taking this media thing to the next level, and I'm excited about all of that. Let's see what John has to say before we take off. Sorry, the teams that the Bills have beaten haven't won not one more than one game.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Bills.
Yeah.
That's why they're not in my rankings this week.
Yeah, that's weird. They're not in mine either. Cool. Anyways.
They're not in any.
Oh, they're not in Mark's either? I'm actually surprised he has the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I thought you were gonna take them out and put the Lions on number one, but but that's it. That's it for us. Any last words from any of y'all? Any last words? No. All right, that's it.
Will you be attending the parade for the Aces that won?
Yes, so I will be attending Friday.
Congrats to the Aces! So excited for them.
Yeah, Las Vegas Aces. WNBA won 3 times. In the 4 years, I'll be getting that content and bringing it to you here, maybe on a reel. We'll see if we can get that content up. See what happens. But yeah, that's it for us today. Thank you for joining us. Catch Mark, hopefully this Saturday with Grand Slam. There's a lot of great things happening in baseball. Who's winning right now? I seen the score, but I'll let you say it.
I don't know if that's considered winning. That's horrible when I'm looking at NFL scores right now on the screen. It's 12-2.
12-2. Blue Jays
Toronto.
got hot.
The Blue Jays might be the real deal. That's all I got to say.
They're down 2-0, but
yeah, they're down 2-0. But to lose 2 games at home and then to go on the road, I'll be like,
yeah, they're in Seattle 3 games.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to pull. If they could pull off 3, they could pull off 3 wins or even 2 wins in Seattle. They might get home field advantage back. Oh no, they have to win 3.
No, if they get at least 2, I think they should have a chance. I would, even if they go down into Toronto down a game, I think you'll see them turn it around. But watching the pitching tonight for what Seattle's done, Wayne Kirby has pitched horribly. He got lit up early. So yeah, it's. I've been flipping back and forth between that and hockey. Watch the Red Wings win. So yeah, because of course we got hockey content that is going to be being released here soon too. Because the NHL season has started. So
yeah. I got a whiff of something. I just heard that Sarai is a Knights fan now after this weekend in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hey.
She switched from the Dallas Stars to the Knights after the experience she had with Arturo and Jesus and visiting Vegas. They convinced her to become a Knights fan.
Now, yeah, no, not gonna happen.
And I must say the Dodgers might just take it on our end as well. So I'm rooting for them.
Detroit till I die.
On this side.
Las Doyers. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. We'll
If
see
you
what
can't
happens.
beat them, join them. That's always been the quote, right? So
No, it's not.
Dang. Okay.
It's
I'm liking what I'm hearing though.
no.
I kind of enjoying the show now. We can keep it going. I know. Well,
I,
that's it. Good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
I say absolutely not. I will not be joining no other team. I will be.
Well, you have
Detroit.
two, so you have plenty to choose from.
yeah, I mean the Eagles and Phillies are always
Yeah, you have
cemented
two
in my
baseball
book.
teams, so you have plenty to choose from, brother.
Phillies and Eagles are always cemented in my book. The others could be persuaded. I mean that's.
Yeah. As for hockey, no.
Your pops is a Dodger fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, it's in the blood already. So
Nope.
Cowboys is also my blood, and obviously I fell way far from the tree.
dang, you bumped your head too. No, I'm just kidding. You're an Eagle fan. I'm just kidding. Take that
You
back.
got dropped.
Sorry, Eagle fans.
You got dropped as a kid or what?
Now she got saved. She got saved to be a Cowboy fan to an Eagle fan. That's an upgrade. That's an
Actually,
upgrade.
my parents, after visiting Philly, have now.
Yeah,
My dad
converted.
is like
Yeah,
he
they
loves
converted.
the Eagles now. So
Yeah.
my mom is still a little convincing if she's watching. Hi, mom, but yeah, just a little bit of convincing.
All right.
No.
Well, that's it. Or is it? Or you,
That's
Mark?
it. That's it. I'm
Oh,
good.
okay.
No
All
more
right.
baseball.
Cool. Yeah. Check him out. But check him out this Saturday, guys. Yeah,
And
baseball's
Sarai,
happening. Huh?
I'll have a
Oh,
new
T for Sarai. You're gonna see it all right now, but check him out. This weekend because whoever wins these series is going to the World Series.
World Series.
Ooh.